Alright, fellow Slayers, time to take a look at the final episode of the day, which is All the Way. It's Halloween, and the Magic Box is enjoying its busiest day ever, to Anya's delight. Xander goes around pretending to be a pirate. Dawn looks for stuff to take. Anya roller skates around selling things, while Willow argues with a woman who is dressed as a stereotypical witch. Buffy runs into Spike in the basement, and the two have an awkward conversation which Buffy thinks Spike is trying to get her into bed. But they clarify someone wants to go patrolling with her that night, notwithstanding the fact that supernatural forces typically don't operate on Halloween. The gang, who have been helping out all day, are worn out. Anya dances with Dawn as she counts her money. Xander looks at her and decides that the time has finally arrived to announce that he and Anya are engaged. The gang wishes the couple will but privately share their concerns with each other. As Anya gushes about wedding plans of being married, Xander starts to look uncomfortable. The gang threw an impromptu party at Buffy's house for the two. When the lack of decorations is mentioned, Will uses a spell to fill the room with them. While Anya is grateful, Tara and Giles share a concerned look. Later in the kitchen, Tara talks to Will about her casual and increased excessive use of magic. Will fails to see anything wrong with doing so. Dawn reminds Buffy that she's spending the night at her friend Janice's house. After Buffy approves, turns out to meet Janice for what was actually planned to be an evening holding fun teenage hijinks with two older boys named Zach and Justin. As Dawn, Janice, Zach, and Justin engage in some of the more violent Halloween pranks, breaking windows and damaging mailboxes. Back at Buffy's place, Giles and Xander share a drink and talk about Xander's future. Xander always seems to second guess his marriage intentions and his future. Giles assures him that everything will be fine. Dawn and friends find themselves in front of old man Caldenbach's house. Caldenbach being reclusive and subject to rumor. After Janice refuses to approach the house, Dawn then bravely volunteers. As she lifts his pumpkin to smash it, the old man grabs her. Dawn's spouse quickly rush to her aid, but they are cheerily invited into the house. As it turns out, the old man was actually a toymaker who was merely bitter about his toys becoming obsolete. Justin offers help the old man with a special treat in the kitchen. As he prepares for his Christmas treats for the kids, Justin bamps out, kills the old man, and steals his wallet. Zach and Justin debate whether just to eat Janice and Dawn, or turn the vampires too. Justin gives Dawn $10, a portion of the money stolen from Caldenbach, but she accepts without hesitation. Justin is impressed when Dawn tells him she has been stealing for a long time. Janice's mom calls Buffy's house and Giles figures out that Dawn has tricked them. He goes out to find Buffy. Anya and Xander mind the house. Tara and Willow head for the Bronze. Zach steals the car by killing the driver, and the four teens begin making out. Jess and Zach then drive off, leaving Dawn and Justin alone in the car. Justin takes the opportunity to make his move and deliver Dawn her very first kiss. At the Bronze, Tara and Willow get into a fight when Willow proposes to magically shift everyone who is a 50-year-old girl to an alternate dimension to make Dawn easier to find. After Tara calls Willow out, Willow gets very angry and accuses Tara of taking Giles' side. In Zach's stolen car, Dawn and Justin continue to make out. However, Justin nibbles her lip a little too hard. After Justin nibbles her lip a little too hard, he vamps out. Although Dawn is swept away in the moment, she manages to feel his lumpy noggin. Nearby, Buffy smashes the door in on Spike's crypt. He informs her of Dawn and her antics. Buffy grabs a pistol crossbow out of his weapon's chest. In the cemetery, Giles hears a girl scream and races to save her, thinking it's Dawn. Instead, he finds Zach and Janice. Just as Zach pulls his teeth out of her neck, Zach calls Giles Grandpa and tells him Janice was asking for it. Blanchard scoffs that he's certain she was not, then dusts him. He continues to look for Dawn. Meanwhile, Dawn's just run out of the car to get away from the vampire. He stops her, telling her in an unconvincing monotone that she's different from other girls. He could tell when he first met her that she was special. As leans in to bite her, he says it's okay, they'll only hurt for a second. At that moment, Giles finds Dawn and tells her that Justin says that to all the girls. As Giles approaches to fight them, a crew of vampires surround them. Just then, Spike and Buffy also arrive on the scene. As Buffy turns to her mother and she criticizes Dawn for parking with the vampire. Dawn protested she didn't know he was a vampire. They just met. Buffy counters angry that she shouldn't be parking with the guy she just met, and Dawn pretends that Buffy fell in love with a vampire. Then an all Halloween battle breaks out. In the battle's conclusion, Justin finds Dawn, knocks her down and straddles her. She says she thought she really liked her. He says he does, then leans in to bite her, but Dawn does it with a crossbow arrow she was holding at her waist. The gang return home, where Buffy is quick to leave the job of chastising Dawn to Giles, who isn't happy about how Buffy is relying on him so much. Meanwhile, Tara's so angry at Willow, so casts a spell on Tara to make her forget their quarrel. Yeah, boy. So let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. When asked to get a romantic room from the basement, Buffy comments it won't be her fault if they have this conversation over and over again, a reference to a time loop in the previous episode. Xander wears a pirate costume, which calls back to Larry wearing a very similar pirate costume in the episode Halloween. Xander's eye patch foreshadows his eventual loss of an eye in Dirty Girls. When Buffy says to Giles, "Well, what about costumes that take over your personality? A real old Irish fear demon thingy." She's referencing to the events from previous Halloween episodes, Halloween, and Fear itself. Xander and Anya announced their engagement, which had been secretly been since the gift. Xander shows early signs of being sure of marrying Anya, which will result into his decision in Hell's Bells. Willow erases Tara's memory in this episode. Tara's eventual discovery once more of feeling will influence her decision to end the relationship. Buffy scolds Xander when she mistakenly believes he wants to marry Dawn. In Retreat Part 3, he and Dawn will begin a relationship, much to Buffy's initial dismay. Buffy's mentioned having been on commission for 3 months. Buffy mentions having been out of commission for 3 months. In Afterlife, Spike told she'd been gone for 147 days, about 5 months. The only time Janice appears in the series, she was mentioned before in Shadow, and will be 4 more times, will be 4 times more, and Dopamine Palace, Dead Things, Normal Again, and Seeing Red. Dawn and Janice fool their parents / Buffy by telling each of them that they're at each other's house. This mirrors Buffy telling Giles she was with her mother, and telling her mother she was with Giles when she was with Angel and Band Candy, as well as the round robin that Buffy, Willow, and Xander did during high school in order to cover their Scooby reunions in Surprise. Dawn mentions her increasing kleptomania that begun in Forever. The mention of stealing lipsticks is also a callback to when Buffy said to Merrick in the flashback of becoming part 1 that she went to pay for that lipstick. Just attempts to court Dawn by giving her his jacket, just Angel did with Buffy and Teacher's Pet, and Ripper stole a code for Joyce and Band Candy. Dawn fall for another Letterman jacket, wearing boy RJ and him. Willow references Fantasia when talking about cleaning the magic box. In Fear itself, Xander mistakenly rented this film for the Scooby Gang's Halloween movie night. Giles says that Buffy is becoming too reliant on him. This leads to his decision to leave Sunnydale and Tabula Rasa. Yeah, boy. So let's take a look at some production notes for this episode. It had a production number 6A-BB06. When Will and Tara are discussing Will's increased use of magic, Will is spelled to mute everyone, Sukut, which is silence in Arabic. Then Will unmutes everyone, which says Takalam, which is talk in Arabic. And now let's take a look at some pop culture references. Xander calls Giles Ahab in reference to the character Captain Ahab from the novel Moby Dick. Dawn wears a shirt with an illustration of Hello Kitty. The magazine rack in the magic box displays UFO Magazine, Green Egg, Nexus, and Shaman's Drum. On Instagram's the costume is from the TV series Charlie's Angels. Spike mentions he plans to watch It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Will suggests that the magic box with magic like in the film Fantasia, which also points out that things didn't work out for Mickey. Spike's TV plays George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Standing for the old man's house, Spike says to Janice, "Pumpkins, very dangerous. You go first." This is a variation of a quote from Raiders of the Lost Ark Gonzalez sees the snakes in the well of souls and tells Indiana Jones, Asps, very dangerous. You go first. When Montero go to the bronze, Wilmer started by saying, do they know their brother and sister? I ran into the couple dressed as Luke and Leia erotically dancing. When Justice asks the Colton to bother him, Don jokingly asks if he is Superman. And now finally, let's take a look at a goof. During Buffy's fight with the vampire by the car, the vampire breaks the car door window with several shards left across the room of the window. But then Buffy pulls him through the window. The shards have disappeared. So I think this episode is pretty good, and yeah, kind of a bad feel for what's going to happen between Willow and Tara eventually, so yeah. So overall I give, all the way, 4 vampire steaks out of 5. But anyway, tune in tomorrow as we take the next episode, once more with feeling. So, until then, here endeth the lesson.